This is Southern Cross News with Rachel Williams.
Footy fans covered the state in the Crows and Tigers colours to mark the clash. Richmond's victory was particularly special for one of the club's diehard fans who's recovering from a kidney transplant, and he never thought he would see his side win another flag.
Watching yellow and black grace the G is a dream come true for Tigers fans, but for Greg McKinnon, it's more, a miracle. The dyed-in-the-wool supporter endured a second kidney transplant last year, sending him into a coma for 14 days. When he woke, only his beloved club was on his mind.
First thing I said, I haven't seen Richmond play in the grand final.
Today he shared grand final day with mates from the Georgetown Football Club. The junior club of Tigers ruckman Toby Nankervis. Greg coached Nankervis at Auskick and saw him become the team's go-to player.
Our ruckman, backman, forward, yeah.
The town transformed into one big party for the grand final. Team colours covered homes and faces, while businesses also jumped on board. In Launceston, a sleepless supporter group held on to every kick, ecstatic at the team's dream run.
Every year you pray that they're going to win.
I like to see him bowl the bar over.
The group watches nearly every Tigers game together.
I don't think anyone expected us to go this far.
Pubs and parties across the state, you could feel the excitement and the tension as we watched a new champion crowned for 2017.
Punters settled their nerves with a few drinks in Hobart, fans glued to the screens. The big game even interrupted a couple's honeymoon.
We're here on our honeymoon, actually. It's been to nearly every home game this year. We're from Melbourne, so it's been a pretty big year. Can't believe we're here, to be honest, so it's just amazing.
Today, a true love story for the Tigers faithful. Tom Johnson, Southern Cross News.
Police are investigating two deliberately lit fires which destroyed properties in Moona and Rokeby. A vacant home on a residential street gutted by the latest arson attack. Police now appealing to the public for any information.
This is the crumbling remains of a vacant Rokeby home ravaged by a suspected arson attack last night. Neighbours woke to the blaze around 1 a.m, alerting emergency crews who arrived at the property soon after.
Well, the house was well alight, but it's still standing. The damage has been quite substantial.
Firefighters bringing the blaze under control, but unable to salvage what remained of the structure. Police say the three-bedroom home has been vacant for some time, and investigators are yet to determine exactly how it started.
At this stage, the investigation's still underway, but we do suspect that it's been deliberately lit.
The intensity of the blaze was so strong it caused extensive damage throughout the whole vacant home, and it will have to be demolished. Meanwhile, crews continue to investigate a fire that tore through a vacant double-storey warehouse in Moona late yesterday. This structure also completely destroyed, with the fire so fierce it's caused most of the building to collapse.
Obviously, it's concerning that houses, vacant houses or any houses are being lit.
Anyone with information on either fire is asked to contact Crime Stoppers. Louise Hedger, Southern Cross News.
Tasmania needs to capitalise on an historic win for women's football, according to the state opposition. Off the back of the new Tassie Kangaroos AFLW team, Labor is committing to growing the sport at a grassroots level by upgrading facilities.
It's been 2 days since Tasmania landed an historic partnership for women's AFL.
For the games that we play in Tasmania, we'll be wearing the jumper that has the Tassie logo.
Half of the Tassie Kangaroo home games will be played in our state, now putting the spotlight on venues.
Football is a traditional game in Tasmania. It's been around 200 years and some of our grounds and facilities are quite old and run down. The women need a fair go. They need decent facilities.
North Hobart and Kingborough Ovals are being considered as possible grounds for the 2019 AFLW. The state opposition vowing to upgrade facilities if elected, with an almost $5 million commitment over 3 years.
We have women's teams who come onto the ground. They have to share change rooms or swap in and out of change room with the men. And whilst the boys are always very gracious about that, we actually need more facilities and better facilities.
The potential growth for the sport through upgraded facilities echoed by the new Tasmanian Football Woman of the Year.
You know, you want good facilities so
People enjoy their experiences of playing football and being at a club. So, you know, it's a package deal really.
Growth already seen within the Southern Football League.
We had 17 girls. Our numbers grew to 35 this year, and already for next year there's about another 10 that are interested in playing. So it's just going to grow.
The state government will consider the proposed upgrades. Jacqueline Robson, Southern Cross News.
Hobart's vacant Macquarie Point site will soon come to life with a call for interim projects to occupy the area. As the redevelopment continues, space will become available at the former cold store, now being demolished. A registration of interest process opens on Monday, with hopes the site will transform into a thriving tourism hub.
The waterfront can look closed when there's redevelopments and other things happening, so therefore best to activate it so people come down, have a look at it, and then walk around the other areas on the waterfront.
Evaluation of projects will be conducted by an expert panel and assessed against criteria. More information can be found on the Macquarie Point website.
And finally tonight, Tasmania's Georgia Nesbitt has won silver at the World Rowing Cup. Rowing for Australia, Nesbitt led the charge after the halfway mark in the lightweight women's quadruple sculls. After sitting in third for the first 1,500 metres, the Aussies edged past China with 500 metres left to go.
And you can see the determination. Georgia Nesbitt in the stroke seat, looking to push her crew on, looking to get connected. Really long strokes that they're still sculling.
But the Italians were too strong, finishing 1.5 seconds ahead, leaving Nesbitt with the silver medal.
Good evening. It was a fairly cool Saturday around the state. Hobart and Burnie 13, Devonport 14, Launceston 15. 15 was the top today, seen at St Helens and Eddiston. 14 for Friendly Beaches, 13 in Lowhead, Wynyard and the Islands, 12 at Strawn and Maria Island, and Lyowini struggling for a top of 3, and the state's low was at Mount Wellington again with a -5. The highest recorded rainfall was 28 mil at Strathgordon. Isolated thunderstorms on the east coast today with a frontal band of cloud crossing to the Tasman. Massive mid-level cloud developing over Northern Territory, covering much of South Australia and New South Wales, bleeding out over the Tasman. Up close, convective low-level clouds streaming over the state from the west. And tomorrow, a large high-pressure system will hit the Bight, covering the southern half of Australia. A trough will run inland of the Queensland coast through the top end of the Northern Territory. On the water, northwest to southwesterly winds up to 30 knots, reaching 35 knots about the south. West to southwesterly swells to 5 metres. A gale warning is current for southern coastal waters from Tasman Island to Lower Rocky Point. Strong wind warning current for the remaining coastal waters except the upper east, and a small craft wind alert current for southwest and central plateau lakes. Tomorrow, cloudy for Hobart and 17. Richmond, partly cloudy 18. Ooze 14. Partly cloudy across the north, 19 for Launceston, 16 in Devonport and 15 at Deloraine. Showers for Curry and Burnie, 15. Strawn 13. And partly cloudy over the east with St Helens on 21, Swansea 20 and Whitemark 15. The 3-day forecast will see Monday looking mostly fine with light showers in the west and south. Tuesday, showers in the west and far south increasing in the evening. And Wednesday, fine apart from showers about the north in the afternoon. Around the country tomorrow, 25 and sunny for Perth. Cloudy in Adelaide, 18. Melbourne, 17 with light showers.
Well, that's all your news for now. Just a reminder to wind your clocks forward tonight as daylight saving starts. That's clocks forward 1 hour before you go to bed. Thanks for joining us. Have a great evening. Good night.